Hey everybody, it's Jack here with Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. It's been about 2 weeks. And anyway, I was able to come up with something. It's going to be in the same vein as the attempt at making fried rice. Except I actually do have a recipe this time, but there's not a lot of details. I pulled the recipe off of this Pace pecani sauce bottle, and it does not have a whole lot of details. It's literally just those 3 squares there. So yeah. Not a lot to work with, so we're going to give making this a shot. They call it one-pan burrito bowls. So let's get right into it. Okay, so yeah, there's not a whole lot going on here. We have 1 1/3 pounds of 80% ground chuck. We've got some cheese. We've got a bottle of pecani sauce, Pace brand, and a whole bunch of rice. We're going to need about a cup, maybe a cup and a third. And my homemade taco mix, well, taco seasoning. So yeah, not a lot going on here. Let's move to the next step. Alright, so we're going to be using our cast iron today. I've already oiled it up, and I have the heat at a high medium, or medium I guess you could say. So we're going to go ahead and add our hamburger. We just want to brown it a little bit. So go ahead and separate it from one big chunk more into your standard pieces, I guess you could say. Whatever standard piece is. Okay, so now that you got it kind of broken up, be sure to come back and check on it and stir it. Don't let it sit on one side for too long, otherwise it's just going to burn one side and the rest is going to be undercooked. You need to come back and pay attention to it. Make sure each piece gets its fair time on the metal. Alright, so let's let it cook a bit, and when it gets greasy we'll drain it out and continue from there. Alright, so the meat is almost completely browned. There's a tiny bit of pink left in a couple pieces, but that's okay because we're still going to cook this more. Next up, we need to drain this grease out. That's actually quite a bit of grease, more than I expected for 80%, and there's more coming. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and drain this. I'm going to cut the camera, and we'll come back and start the next phase. Alright, so I've siphoned off the grease. This is about how much we got. Just over a pound of hamburger. Quite a bit, more than I expected. And next up we're going to add a tablespoon of the homemade taco seasoning. Spread it around, try not to get it all in one spot. Save the rest for a moment later. Let's go ahead and turn the heat back on. And we're going to add 2 cups of water. And 2 cups of Pace pecani sauce. I hope. I think. Yeah, 2 cups of Pace pecani sauce. So let's go ahead and do that. Hopefully I have 2 cups. I kind of ate some of it beforehand. Oh wow, we got lucky. Exactly 2 cups. Let's go ahead and give it a stir. Use your fake hand. The thing's hot. Please don't overflow. I'm begging you. I don't want to clean this up. It's not be fun to clean up. Add in the remainder of the seasoning. Stir it in. Note to self, and maybe to you viewers, you might want to use a bigger skillet. Unfortunately, the other one I have has rust in it, so it's not operable. Have to restore it. And next, we want to add 1 cup of rice. Yeah, 1 cup. That's all we need, I think. Who needs this recipe? So 1, 2, and this is a third, so yeah, that should be good. Could probably add more rice, but that's all I'm gonna risk for this. Oh shoot, don't overflow. Alright, now we want to bring it to a boil, and after it's boiling, we'll come back and we'll start the next phase. Okay, so it's been about 2 minutes, and I forgot to mention, you might want to periodically stir it. For obvious reasons, or hopefully obvious reasons, you don't want to let the food sit on the bottom directly over the burner for too long. even if it is in liquid. You do want to move it. Okay, so we're starting to get to a pretty good boil. It's nice and consistent. Next, we want to reduce the heat to low, and we want it to simmer for between 8 to 12 minutes. So, when that time period is up, or if something interesting happens, I will get right back to y'all. Oh, be sure to keep periodically stirring it. Even if it is on low, what's right over the burner will still burn. Alright, so here we are about 8 minutes later. Most of the liquid's been boiled off or absorbed, and it's probably done. I'm gonna let it go for another minute or two. I want there to be less liquid in here, but I think it's good for in general. Now, what you could do at this point is you could cover it in cheese, just completely cover it, or you can just let people make their bowls and add the cheese. Since I'm the only one eating this, I'm gonna put the cheese on it, but we'll get to that later. All right, so after about 12-15 minutes of cooking, I didn't time it very well. I'm gonna add the cheese. So it's done. You don't really need that cheese now, but like I mentioned earlier, I'm the only one that's gonna eat this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add it. I'm just gonna put a layer on top. And there you go. That is hopefully how you make the one-pan burrito bowl. Alright, so yeah, there you go. My version of their one-pan burrito bowls. It was actually pretty good. It was easy to make. Super easy to make. Not nearly as intense as fried rice, or at least winging fried rice was. Now, I didn't follow the recipe exactly. They wanted 1 pound of ground beef. I used a little bit more than that. They wanted a cup and a half of rice. I used a cup and a third. I didn't want to use too much rice, considering we were really close to overflowing. I did use the right amount of water and salsa. I got really lucky with the salsa. I had some of this beforehand. So yeah, I'm actually thoroughly impressed with it. Came out really good. I could definitely recommend it. And it's really cheap to make. The hamburger and cheese probably the most expensive thing on the menu. And you could easily do this for under $10. And it will feed maybe 4 or 5 people in one sitting. Anyway, thanks for watching. You can catch us here Tuesdays and Fridays, or technically any day of the week, since it kind of backlogs everything wonderfully. We're also on Facebook at Living Between Paychecks Kitchen, and we're on Instagram at Living Between. Be sure to come check us out on our other social media areas. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll hope to see you next time.